Hey guys, Jeff Boyce, founder of Evolution Nutrition. I'm here with Pete Ciccone at 619 Muscle in the gym San Diego. We're going to be hitting big arms. Then after, we're going to head back up to the office and talk about the real science behind macros and calories.
Carbohydrates are, yes, the preferred and the primary energy source of the muscles. But you really don't have to overeat them, because that's when people get into trouble. When you start feeding glycogen storage in the liver and the muscles, what happens is the body doesn't feel the need to utilize fats and proteins, or fats especially, for energy. So keep that in mind when you're structuring your macronutrient profile, or your coaches, or if your coaches out there, pay attention to the fact that only protein builds muscle and carbohydrates fuel muscle, but also an overabundance of carbohydrates, which is typical in most performance diets. It's not necessarily to your advantage, because you're fueling potential fat storage as well, or at least, if not fat accrual, the inability to utilize fat for energy. And the goal of most fitness programs is to lose fat. So it's something worth keeping in mind as you structure your plan.
All right, that's arms. Blood flow is completely saturated the muscles. We're going to head back up to the office now, and I'm going to dig a little deeper into the nutritional essentials with macros and calories and what you need for you and your clients. I'll see you there. We're back up here at the office, and after the killer workout with Pete, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about nutrition and the core essentials really around diet and nutrition and what really matters. So when you look at nutrition, you have two ways to look at it. You can either look at it of sustaining life, which is just meeting your calories and your macro needs, which everybody does. So everybody gets plenty of calories in, everybody gets plenty of macros in, everything around the board. But sustaining a quality of life, that's what's essential. So we're trying to now take just life, but we're trying to create a quality through healthy food choices, understanding around portion sizes and your macros, and that's what's going to lead to your quality existence, your quality of life, and also your results that you're going to obtain from your training. So that's the core of Evolution Nutrition in terms of providing professionals with the tools and resources they need to provide their clients with that higher quality of life through food. So when you're looking at achieving that higher quality of life through nutrition with your clients, king is always calories, your energy balance. But we're actually going to get into that in the next episode when we talk about calories, training, and energy balance. So today we're going to focus on the content of those calories, where they come from, and that are the macronutrients. So macronutrients, we all know you have carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, but we're going to talk about some details that may not pop into your head when you're providing your clients with education or knowledge around nutrition and their choices regarding their meal planning. So carbohydrates are king, so we're going to start with that. So there have been a lot of misconceptions and misinformation that has been put into the public in the last couple of years with regards to carbohydrates, but they are the foundation of your meal planning because everything surrounds it. If your meal plan and your requirements are centered on energy, ATP, which all your cells use, the foundation for how your body gets that energy are carbohydrates. So that always has to be looked at the core of your meal plan. Now, protein and fats, which we'll get into, are essential also, but carbohydrates, laying that as the foundation, that's going to be the best option. So carbohydrates are king because every essential process in your body relies on them. We're not just talking about your muscles, we're talking about your central nervous system, your nerves, your digestive system. Everything needs ATP and everything needs glucose. So that's why it's the foundation of your meal plan. But you don't have to overload on carbs. You don't have to overload on starches. When we look at meal planning, it's all about balance, balance that supports your goals. So if we look at just carbohydrates as a start, you want to focus on good carbohydrates, which are clean. Anytime we talk about any of the macronutrients, I'm always going to recommend and what I follow, which are clean carbs. Where are my carbs? Where are my proteins? Where are my fats? And if you have clean foods, you can estimate your macros and calories much better. So with regards to carbohydrates, you want clean sources in terms of whole grains, good fiber carbohydrates. So you have whole oats, whole grains, high fiber vegetables. Those are going to be your foundation for the carbohydrates that you want with your meal planning. Next macronutrient, protein. Protein is king with regards to training now because of its involvement in your recovery and repair of muscle tissue and growth. Now, when I talk about growth and muscle tissue, I'm not just talking about hypertrophy. I'm not talking about getting big biceps and big chest muscles. I'm talking about repair. Whatever type of training you're doing in terms of endurance training, CrossFit, bodybuilding, whatever it is, your muscles have to have specific amino acids in order to recover. And that's what's going to enhance the results of your training. So now when you look at specific amino acids, there are certain ones that have the most to do with that repair and recovery. And if you want to focus on those with either your foods that you choose for your proteins or specific supplementation you take before or after training, which is what I choose to adopt, then that's going to enhance your training. So with regards to amino acids, you want to look at your BCAAs, so your isoleucine, leucine, and your valine amino acids, but also don't discount arginine and taurine and glutamine. Those three amino acids with the branched-chain amino acids will have the most impact on the recovery of your muscle and the results that you're going to achieve. So protein is essential for muscle growth and repair, and it's going to help enhance your training, but that's only part of the piece of why they're essential in the body. So you have your endocrine system and also your thyroid system, which regulate your metabolism and all of your hormones. And these actually are centered on optimal protein intake. So everything surrounding your thyroid gland, your metabolism, everything needs essential protein and essential amino acids. So having that balance throughout the day, but specifically before and after your training, that's what's going to optimize your health and your protein needs throughout the day. Last macronutrient, fat. Now, in the recent years, fat has actually gotten better praise than carbohydrates, which is kind of unfortunate, but fat's essential with the body because of its involvement in recovery, but also in essential functions that your body relies on, including your metabolism, but also your immune system functioning. With regards to the energy, your body uses fats primarily at low intensity level exercise, so less than about 65 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So fat is essential at jump-starting your energy and your metabolism during training, but also essential in your recovery. With regards to what type of fats I take in, any type of plant sources from fats are going to be great. So you have your unsaturated, your polyunsaturated fats coming from nut and seed oils, but also your vegetable oils. So one of my favorites actually is avocado and MCT oils. So with the avocado, I usually take in a couple servings per day, and I usually do about a fourth to a third of an avocado per serving. But then also I supplement with MCT oil first time when I get up in the morning, but also before and after training. And that makes sure that I get fat throughout the day that supports my goals with regards to health and also my fitness. All right, now that we went over the macronutrients, how do you put it all together? Well, everybody talks about a balanced diet. What is balance? That's what's unique to every person. So your balance is what's going to align with your health goals, but also your training goals. So when we talk about balance specifically with regards to your nutrition and your meal plan, that specifically has to do with portion sizes and also your macros. So if you don't want to go to that next level and calculate all of your macros to the gram and calorie level, you can just use a basic assessment in terms of making sure that a meal that you're taking in has balance. So it was one of the original recommendations provided by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, but also the USDA in terms of how do I achieve balance
for a specific meal. And the first foundation are your vegetables. So vegetables and fruits, you want to fill with about half of your plate, primarily vegetables, high density, low water content to make sure you get the vitamins and the nutrients in the vegetables, and that's going to provide the foundation. Now the other 2/4, 25% and 25%, you can fill with lean proteins and healthy carbohydrates. So now you have 50% of your plate from the vegetables and 1/4 of your plate from protein and 1/4 from your carbohydrates. And if you want to add in a specific serving size for fats, you can take about 10%, 10 to 20% of your vegetable portion and add in specific fats like what we just talked about with avocados, nuts, or seeds. So that's great. What are healthy carbohydrates, or what's a portion size? So when you look at specific portion sizes for proteins and carbohydrates, there's certain objects that you can relate to what's a healthy portion size. So with regards to proteins, lean proteins, you want to look at either your fist or a deck of cards, and those are the common comparisons. So with your fist, you're going to get about 4 to 6 ounces of lean protein. A deck of cards will give you about 3 to 4 ounces. So those are good perspectives to think when you're looking at planning your meals. With the carbohydrates, it's hard to estimate a cup, but what I always do is I picture a baseball. So most people have seen a baseball. If you don't get one, it's a great reference. But the baseball will give you about a cup serving size of grains, actually proteins, dense nutrients. That's probably one of the best things that I personally recommend. Okay, so that's the basic level of achieving balance in a meal. If you want to go next level with regards to calculating your macros, that's going to be even better with regards to helping you achieve or helping your clients achieve their goals. So there's hundreds of different recommendations and perspectives in terms of how many macros should I be taking in? What's the ratio? High protein, high carb, low carb. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is whatever you choose that's going to align with yours or your client's goals. It's all about consistency. So it's about adopting and committing to a set ratio of macros, calculating the foods and portion sizes from that, and just being consistent so you can see the results from that, and then you can decide what changes I want to make. So we have thousands and thousands of meal plans that have been created by our pros for their clients, and we've run analyses, and in terms of the predominant macro ratio that's used by pros and their clients, it's typically around protein-focused ratio, which is about 40 to 45% carbohydrates, 35 to 40% protein, and about 20% fats. So if you don't have any idea in terms of what your clients should have or what you want to do for yourself with regards to the macros, that's a good starting point. Remember, it's about the macros, but it's about the density of foods and the food choices. Whatever you choose, whether it's high carb, keto, whatever ratio, whatever macro profile, whatever plan you want your clients on, just make sure it's custom and it's unique and it suits their goals. That's going to get them the results. All right, guys, that's wraps up for episode 2. For more info and tips and tools on assessing your nutrition and your client's nutrition, head over to evolutionnutrition.com for also access to great content. I'll see you guys next time.